Working with machinery means working around whirling metal parts, powerful compression systems, and razor-sharp blades. Often, the dangerous aspects of machine work are apparent as soon as the power is activated. Using machinery is a big part of your job, but it also puts you at risk. Crushed hands and arms, severed fingers, blindness. The list of possible machinery-related injuries is endless. In many cases, an injury is getting off easy.
Less than an hour ago, a rescue squad was called here to the chemical plant in the industrial complex south of town. A worker apparently has been caught in a machine. Details are still sketchy at this time, but it appears the worker, believed to be a young woman, was pulled into the counter-rotating drive shafts of the machine. I spoke to the safety officer earlier, but he says he is not commenting until further investigation is done. We'll stay on top of this developing story. We'll have more details later on in the newscast. I'm Jan Callahan for TV9 News.
This program defines the categories and types of machine guards and explains how they work. But most importantly, it shows how safeguarding is vital to your safety. There are as many possible dangers as there are machines. That's why it's important to understand your first and best form of protection. Safeguarding means erecting barriers which prevent entry into the point of operation or other danger areas. Each year, workers are injured, lose fingers, hands, and arms. Some even die in painful, needless accidents because a machine was never safeguarded. Or worse, the guard was removed for convenience. A hand, in exchange for finishing the job 10 minutes early, is not a good trade-off. After working with a machine regularly, it begins to feel like an extension of yourself, like an additional hand or arm. You find yourself no longer concentrating on operation, because operation is second nature, just like breathing. It's this very feeling of security and routine that can lead to disaster. There is no way you can focus on all hazards all the time. That's why guards are so important. By simply erecting barriers, guards make injury nearly impossible. As a general rule, any machine part, function, or process which may cause injury must be safeguarded. Hazards from the operation of a machine or from accidental contact must be controlled or eliminated. There are several places where most mechanical hazards occur and where safeguarding is the most important. This is where work such as cutting, shaping, grinding, or boring is performed on the material. This area of the machinery transmits energy to the part of the machine doing the work. Power transmissions include pulleys, flywheels, belts, connecting rods, chains, or cranks. Finally, any other moving parts with rotating or transverse motion as well as feed mechanisms are possible hazard spots. It may seem like a large task to provide protection against all these potential hazards, but it's not impossible. There are many places for injury to occur on and around machinery, but there are also many types of guards that will keep you protected if they are used correctly. Machine safeguards are designed to protect you and your coworkers from the dangers of accidental entry into the point of operation, nip points, rotating parts, flying chips, and sparks. A guard should be designed and constructed so that it cannot be tampered with or removed easily. Of course, if you're doing maintenance or setup of machinery, you must remove the guards. Just make sure you've been properly trained before proceeding. Machine guards should not create interference with the smooth running operation of any machinery. A guard that slows work down or makes work uncomfortable should be reported to your supervisor. Machine guards should be changed only if authorized. Unauthorized alterations may lead to dangerous situations. Contact your company's safety supervisor and check your company's policy to learn what safety requirements must be met. When the machine guard you are working with is effective and comfortable, the sky's the limit on your level of productivity. A machine guard should not only keep human parts out, it should also prevent other objects from getting into machinery. A falling hand tool could become a dangerous projectile. Finally, a guard should not create new hazards. A safeguard installed to protect you should not have a jagged edge or force you to reach over and around the point of operation to activate the machinery. Machine guards come in many forms, but they all provide a simple service, making your work safer. Guards are barriers which prevent access to danger areas. Guards are most easily understood by dividing them into 4 general types: fixed, interlocked, adjustable, and self-adjusting. A fixed guard is a permanent part of the machine. It is not dependent on any moving or supplemental part to perform its intended function. A fixed guard may be made of sheet metal, screen, bars, plastic, or any material strong enough to withstand whatever impact and prolonged use the guard may receive. A fixed guard is desirable because of its simplicity and durability. An interlocked guard is connected to a tripping mechanism which cuts off the power automatically when the guard is lifted or removed. An interlocked guard may use an electrical, mechanical, or hydraulic system, or any combination of these. Regardless of which type is used, restarting machinery should never be automatic. It should rely on manual resetting. Any machine guard that stops a machine cycle must have manual resetting. This allows you to reactivate the machinery rather than having the machinery automatically restart, which could be dangerous if you're not prepared. Manual resetting is an important precaution against danger and should always be used. An adjustable guard is useful because it allows for flexibility in accommodating various sizes of stock. Before operating the machine, the size of the stock is determined and the guard adjusted accordingly. Even more flexible in accommodating different sized materials is the self-adjusting guard. Unlike the adjustable guard, the openings of these barriers are determined by the movement of the stock. The stock moves into the danger area, the guard moves out of the way, allowing just enough room for the stock to pass through. Using a machine with self-adjusting guards warrants being very cautious. Self-adjusting guards do not always provide maximum protection and can decrease visibility of the point of operation. Devices are general systems that involve several parts, including moving parts, which work together to protect the operator. Devices for machine guarding come in many different forms. First of all, there are the safety trip controls. These controls provide a quick means for deactivating machinery in emergency situations. The machine is stopped by contact with a pressure-sensitive body bar, safety trip rod, or safety tripwire cable. Again, as with any form of machine safeguarding, the restart following shutdown should be done manually. Since pressure-sensitive bars and trip rods are activated by bodily contact, which could ultimately lead to entrance into the point of operation or other hazard point, their placement is critical. A bar should be at waist, chest, or eye level. A bar placed too close to the floor or above the operator's head reduces the chance of accidental contact and defeats the purpose of the guard. This places the machine operator in a hazardous and potentially fatal position. Two other forms of safety control devices are the two-hand control and the two-hand trip system. The two-hand control requires constant, simultaneous pressure by the operator to activate the machinery. This type of device keeps both hands out of the danger zone and on the control buttons while the machine completes its closing cycle. This control requires a part revolution clutch, brake, and a brake monitor if used on a power press. The two-hand trip also requires simultaneous pressure from both hands on separate control buttons that activate the machine cycle. After the machine has been activated, your hands can be removed from the controls. The trips, therefore, must be placed far enough from the point of operation to make it impossible for hands to slip into the point of operation before the first cycle is completed. This device is usually used with machines equipped with full revolution clutches. Some safety devices actually combine with safety guards to protect you. One such device is a present sensing device which uses a light beam. Much like the way an alarm goes off when you cross the fault line in a bowling alley, when you cross the light beam created by this device, the machine's cycle is stopped. A barrier guard, in case the light system fails, is a good idea and creates a guard device form of protection. Another combination of safety device and safety guard is a gate. A gate prevents injury by working as a barrier to the entrance into the dangerous point of operation. It also functions as a device by halting the machine cycle when not properly in place. With the gate raised, there is no way to activate the machinery, and unplanned or uncontrolled startups cannot occur. When the gate is pulled fully closed, the machine cycle is activated. As a guard, the gate works by not allowing entry into the point of operation, and its ability to shut the power down when activated makes it a device. Machine safeguarding is not an exact formula, but an answer to specific needs. As with the gate, perhaps a combination of safeguard systems is needed. Each machine calls for an individual evaluation. But with any machine, if you can think ahead to what it will do when activated, chances are you will better avoid potential danger. Think about the materials your machine will be working on, what the machine will do to those materials, and the byproduct produced. Think about where you will be standing when the machine is activated. Keep in mind, a manual feeding system requires extra caution. Always be sure moving mechanisms are clear of people and objects, and be sure you are not wearing any jewelry or loose clothing that could get snagged during the machine's operating cycle. Overhead moving parts, like pulleys, or moving parts not directly related to the point of operation, are a huge potential for accidental contact and need to be considered. Evaluating your machine with these things in mind will help you discover danger areas and help you realize whether the machines you work with are adequately safeguarded. Remember, machine accidents don't always happen to operators. As you walk through your shop or warehouse and past machinery, be alert. A loose shirt tail could be grabbed by a machine, and stumbling or tripping near a machine in operation could be disastrous. Machine safeguarding is the #1 priority of any machine shop. Remember the 3 main areas of accidental contact: the point of operation, the power transmission apparatus, and any moving parts. Check to make sure the safeguards on your machine, whether guards or devices, are in good working condition before activating the power. And remember, whether working with a machine or just working near one, focus your attention on the task at hand. Don't let a distraction or lack of attention be the cause of losing a finger, hand, arm, your eyesight, or even worse. Machine safeguarding is the means to working safely. Make sure it's safe for you.